With respect. This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by Freekeen.com. Well, I'm standing here with Jeremy, who from Wisconsin.
That's correct.
Who is just you just got to New Hampshire 8 hours ago?
Yes, I rolled in here about 8:15.
We're over at
I rolled into Manchester 8:15. Yeah.
We're over at the Manchester gathering, and so you decided to come straight here instead of going straight home.
I went straight here. I said, hey, I crossed the border, and I'm not stopping until I get here. So that's why I didn't stop. I said, well, I was running late. I wanted to be here at 6, but I got kind of a late start. But
well, now, before I ask you any more questions, I did want to be upfront with the viewers that there's going to be an update later on in this story. It is time sensitive and has to do with some things that are going on Thursday. I wanted to just let you know that there is going to be some breaking news at the end of this video. But I wanted to start it out by introducing you to Jeremy and telling you how cool it is to have a new Free Stater here just off the bus.
Yeah, I'm still tipsy, actually. Yeah.
Well, now you
I didn't drink anything either yet. I have root beer, but
okay. Now, how long have you been active in the movement? When did you decide you wanted to move up here?
I decided about 2 years ago, actually. In my mind, I decided. I didn't actually make the 100% commitment until, about 6 months ago. Well, here's the thing. I was running for county board in my local area in Wisconsin, and I told myself if I don't win this election, I'm moving to New Hampshire. So that pretty much cut it for me.
Well, you're telling me you got 42% of the vote, though.
Right. Well, I only campaigned for a week. I guess maybe subconsciously, maybe I didn't want to win, but no, I guess I really wanted to move here. Subconsciously, maybe that's why I didn't really push it all the way. Mainly, I didn't win because I didn't have the financial backing to get my materials printed in time, and so I only had a week to get my materials out to the public, and that really slowed me down. I turned out a lot of voters. The turnout was still only 4.5% of the total population, which is really bad. But one of the things that really excited me about New Hampshire is you got a lot of people involved in the political scene, and I think that's really the avenue that we got to work towards if we're going to take our country back, is getting involved and getting as many people involved in that political process. That's the only way we're going to do it.
Do you have any specific plans, in terms of what type of activism? Obviously, it's political activism that you're drawn toward, but did you have anything more specific that you're planning to do as an activist to move liberty forward in New Hampshire?
Well, I certainly want to help other existing liberty candidates that are running for office, do what I can to help them in their races. I'm not looking at running for any position in the near future here, but certainly there's a lot of candidates out there that could use some help. I think running for political office my first time, I learned a lot, and I learned how much you need other people to be involved in that process. So I can understand the position a lot of people are in.
And you said that you've got family you're bringing up here too.
Correct.
Good. It's harder to find folks that have family that can make the move.
Well, it's not easy because I've got a son back in Wisconsin, and I got to work that out yet because he's from my first wife, and of course I got a baby girl who's 10 months old, and having a baby and moving at the same time is difficult as well.
Well, I appreciate you doing it.
You know why I'm doing it is because I look at them and I think to myself, what kind of future are they going to have if we just don't do anything? If we all just expect somebody else to do it, we're not going to have any future left. So I'm doing it for them. If I don't do something, who's going to do it? And it always comes to that. It's like, you got to do it. You can't expect somebody else is going to do it. You got to do it. And so I'm here doing it. And first step is to actually get myself established and get my business established. And I think I have a service business, so I'll be able to network with a lot of people, and perhaps through time be able to help educate them and hopefully bring a lot more people around to the Constitution and what liberty is all about.
Okay, well, on that note, there's one other thing. Thanks for your time, Jeremy.
You're welcome.
There's one other, speaking of what liberty is all about, well, I think it's speaking of what liberty is all about. There's a case that I want to tell you about that's coming up on Thursday that might be important for some of us to show up. There's going to be a hearing. A woman from Russia is claiming that the authorities are mistreating her. The DCYF, Department of Children, Youth and Families, I believe, and I don't claim to know a lot about the case. So I'm just going to let you know that it's happening. There's some kind of a trial or a hearing or something like that. If you go to forum.nhfree.com, you will be able to see the details of what's coming up on Thursday. But I just wanted to mention that her name's Elana Katz. She's been on Free Talk Live, and she's alleging that the authorities are holding her youngster inappropriately, but I think her youngster is not young anymore. Her youngster is like 19, so it's kind of an unusual case. Anyway, that's what I've got for you for today for the Ridley Report. This edition, of course, brought to you by freekeene.com, freekeene.com. The folks who are working to free the beautiful little city of Keene using different methods from Jeremy over here, but all aiming in the same direction. freekeene.com.